What up, YouTube? It's your boy Dan, the Lakers fan. You guys already know who it is. I wanted to get into some Laker basketball talk. A lot of things have been going on with the team, and testing out this brand new webcam. Want to see what you guys' input was of it. Uh, I'm not sure if I'm keeping it yet, so I'm kind of new to this whole webcam thing. I was recording everything from my camcorder, so it's the first time actually doing webcam. So you guys let me know when the video's done what you guys thought about it, if it was better quality or worse. Anyways, guys, we got a couple of things to talk about here. There was a very interesting press conference with the Lakers. Very interesting. I was very intrigued by the way Lonzo carried himself. He shows a lot of confidence for a young kid. He's not very, phased by pressure, by what it appears to be. He's good. I mean, he's been handling pressure his whole life. He went to UCLA. He was winning there. He went to, in high school he was a winner. So he just continues to show throughout his short career so far that he can actually carry a team, and he's just very good. What's up, guys? What's up, Lou? What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. What do you guys think of the new webcam? Let me know. Just testing it out really quick, but wanted to have a quick little convo with you guys. Playoffs this year, still a long stretch for the playoffs. I'm not sure about the playoffs, guys. It's going to be hard out west, especially now Minnesota's going to get tougher as well. What's up, Problem? How you doing, bro? Minnesota's going to get tougher, and I'm sure a lot of teams are going to be upgrading for those Golden State Warriors, right? But just wanted to talk a little bit with you guys about the Lakers. And what up, Pimp? What up, Pimp? Just want to talk some Laker basketball with you guys. You guys got any questions? Go ahead, fire away. But yeah, most likely no Paul George. It's not looking very likely. The Indiana Pacers actually believe, and I think after seeing what Jimmy Butler got back in return as a package, I believe that I think they're gonna ask for a similar package, and I actually think Boston will give them something similar to what they're asking for, but only if they get Gordon Hayward, or so the rumor goes, right? If they're able to add that first free agent, and then they would be more of a flight risk to take a gamble on, Paul George, even if he doesn't stay, because they would improve right away, right? They'd have Isaiah Thomas, Paul George, and Gordon Hayward. So yeah, that's the rumor. What I'm hearing so far. But we'll see, man. Hey, a lot of people are still upset about that D'Lo trade, but honestly, I'm over it already. Bright things are coming. It's funny because our young players weren't well regarded by the league. I was reading about Jordan Clarkson, and he doesn't have a lot of trade value right now. That's why maybe they haven't moved him. That's why the Pacers aren't interested. People actually, as cheap as his contract is under the new CBA, they see that contract as a liability, believe it or not, guys. And Julius, not a lot of people are going to want to pay him, basically because, they've been inconsistent throughout their career. What's up, Mikey? What's up, everybody? What's up, fam? Welcome on. What do I think about Utah? Interesting. Utah's very interesting, man. I really like what they did in the playoffs this year. Hopefully, they don't lose Gordon Hayward, but if they do, I just hope he doesn't go to Boston, man. I can't stand Boston, but if they get Gordon Hayward, Boston's gonna be really good. Perfect backcourt mate for, for Isaiah Thomas. And if they're able to land a third star, then it'll be interesting out east. But yeah, man, just wanted to talk about. Did you guys actually get to watch that the press conference with Lonzo Ball and Magic Johnson and Rob? That was very interesting. I did not expect a couple of things. I'm going to get a little bit into that a little bit later, but I did not expect them to put such high expectations on him. Man, they said he's the face of the franchise right off the bat. Now, that's the first time I've heard that from the Lakers organization. Like, they draft somebody and right away, they say they're the face of the franchise. My bad, Hamoud, man. I was trying to set up this webcam. I'm actually not very tech savvy. I'm new to this whole YouTube experience thing, but yeah, man, I just set it up yesterday. I just got the new. It's the E30, I believe. I'm not sure which one it is, but yeah, it's crazy, guys. The press conference told me a lot about the Lakers' mindset. So it appears that Lonzo Ball was the guy the whole time. The whole time they had their sights set on him, and apparently they were sold on him after going to visit him at his house, and they were impressed by his workout and his father's work ethic and the way they train their kids, right? So it's crazy. Face of the franchise was a little heavy, but if anybody could take it, is Lonzo Ball. He's been dealing with this kind of pressure, and so far he hasn't melted under it. So I have high hopes for him as well. Now that they're putting that kind of pressure, though, right off the bat, I expect him to average at least 12 points and 7 assists right off the bat, right? But we'll see what happens. I don't think he'll. He's like a robot, guys. His demeanor reminds me a little bit of Blake Griffin, but he's a good kid, right? His answers are short and to the point, and they're sweet, right? He's letting us know what we want to hear. All he cares about is basketball and his family. What else can we ask for? They said they talked to coaches and teachers, and he's just a perfect good kid. He's totally the opposite of what we drafted in the back and the past, right? So a lot of people were telling me he actually fits the San Antonio Spurs style of personality, but nah, that's our guy, man. Lonzo Ball's a good kid, and I was actually impressed that he actually knows what he's all about. I mean, his answers are repetitive, short, and to the point, but he knows who he is. That's the reason he answers so quickly. And if you notice, he doesn't even take a minute to think about it. Every time he answers a question, he just right off the bat. If you guys haven't seen the interview, go ahead and check it out. It's probably up on YouTube. But I don't think LeVar tells him what to say, honestly. They seem like polar opposites. LeVar has all the confidence, swag, and he's just this outgoing, fun, funny dude. And Lonzo's the complete opposite. He's just this focused young man who's very humble, very focused, and all he cares about is basketball. What's not to love, right? I'm excited, guys. I'm really, really hyped for this season. I think Lonzo will impress those who don't believe, and he will live up to the expectations for those of us who have had high expectations since college, right? So definitely interesting. Another interesting thing, though, that Magic Johnson kind of threw a shot at D'Angelo Russell. He said that we needed a leader when, that the reason he pulled off the trade and brought in Lonzo is because we needed a leader. So that also lets me know that the locker room never recovered. The locker room never recovered from that whole snitch incident. And I do believe that the video I made a couple of weeks back saying that tweet was going to push D'Angelo out the door actually had something to do with it, because Magic doesn't like drama, guys. He's down to business, The other rookie press conference, I'm not sure when they are, or if they're even going to have them. I'm not sure, honestly, but that's a good question. It's interesting. It's interesting to know that our young players aren't as highly valued as we value them. For example, we love Randall and Clarkson, but the league doesn't view them the same. If not, we probably have Paul George already. I read an article on Bleacher Report that said that Clarkson's contract is actually they don't feel like he's worth the contract. Like they basically see him as a bench player. Nobody is that high on him, But at the same time, Julius Randle, the same article says that Julius Randle is not a player that a lot of teams are going to want to pay. So, I mean, that could be good news for us, because if we really like Julius Randle this season, hopefully he doesn't, impress another team to offer him a huge contract. But maybe we could re-sign him under, a good $10 to $12 million contract. But if not, then I guess this is going to be his last year. We're going to have to see, guys. It's going to be this season is so crucial on so many levels. We have to compete. We have to continue to develop young players. We have to show that we're promising, and Lonzo has to show out in order to be able to recruit major free agents in 2018. This cannot be a dead season for us at all. This is very crucial. Another reason is because I don't want to see the Boston Celtics get our pick. You feel me? But it's just an exciting season, and I don't know. I can't wait till July 1st. That's the next key date. I want to see what kind of shooters we're going to sign, because it's interesting because Rob Pelinka said we're going to need shooters, and I look at the market and I only see a couple of them. I see a veteran there in Kyle Korver, but he's a little washed. I'm not sure if they'll offer him a big 1-year contract with a option for the team on the second year, or just a 1-year deal. JJ Redick is very intriguing, but I'm sure there's going to be so many teams pursuing him, and he's probably going to look for, he's up in his 30s already, so he's probably going to look for like a multi-year deal. So he's probably out of the question. Who else is out there? Tim Hardaway Jr. is good, but he's restricted. excuse me, I'm sure the Atlanta Hawks are going to try to re-sign him back. There's just so many players out there, man. So many guys, and eh, who do we sign? That's going to be the question, right? It's going to be interesting to know. And I got to say, there's not a lot of like great shooters other than the ones I already mentioned, guys. That I'm gonna. Dion Waiters is pretty good. I like Dion Waiters for sure. Dion Waiters is not bad, but here's the thing about Dion Waiters. All right, he's also going to be looking for a longer contract deal because I'm not sure if he can repeat the performance he had this season. So I wouldn't really gamble on Dion, to be honest with you guys, man. Uh, but I would take Dion Waiters only if he takes, like I said, a 1 year deal with a 2nd year option on the team. That's the only way I take him. I take a flyer on him. We try him out, see how if he can, if he can go back to back seasons. Because if you guys look, I've been researching Dion Waiters, and this is the best season he's had in his career. The other good season he had was, I think, his 2nd year. But other than that, he's been like averaging 7, 8, 9, 10 points. He hasn't really been worth the kind of contract he's gonna command in the market, right? But who else is out there? I mean, I'm not even sure who else is out there. We said Dion, JJ Redick, Patty Mills. Patty Mills is another good one. That's a good one. Problem. I like that one. Patty Mills would be a great get for us, but he is a point guard, and we did draft a point guard out of Villanova, so I don't know. I think we need a shooting guard with a little bit more size. So, but I do like Patty Mills a lot. And you're right. Yo, Dion Waiters is a ball stopper, but like I said, we can always take a flyer on somebody and try them out for a year if they're willing to take that risk. It's just Sean Livingston's another good one. There you go. But again, I see him more like a point guard. But he could run some shooting guard. He is he is pretty tall, right? But like I said, I'm not really impressed by this free agency. Another interesting little tad bit is that Blake Griffin and Chris Paul opted out. Now, I'm not sure if that's to re-sign a deal with the Clippers or if they're actually planning on leaving. But, man, they need to get the hell out of our city because, they're just going to be a second-round exit joke of a team anyway. So, I don't really like Blake Griffin, but Chris Paul, I feel sorry for him. I hope he goes to the Spurs or somewhere where he has a chance to get far in the playoffs. But Blake Griffin, I don't know. I don't even know where he fits. Honestly, I could see him with the Rockets and the Mike D'Antoni's running gun system now that he was able to, stretch the floor this year. So I could see them pursuing him for sure, trying to, bring back the whole Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire combination days with James Harden and Blake. I could definitely see that. But I don't like JR, honestly. I don't want no more immature players on the team. I think Magic is doing a good job of building character, guys. He drafted, that kid from Villanova has great character. Kyle Kuzma, great character. Seems like everybody we drafted is just a good kid, and I don't want no more knuckleheaded, Nick Young type players like JR. I'll take Ian Clark. That's a good one right there. I forgot about Ian. Ian he's a shooter, and he's proven that he can contribute on a playoff team. So, little contributions here and there, but that goes a long way towards earning a bigger role on another team. Randall and Dang for Wade. D Wade isn't expiring. I could see that. But I wouldn't trade Randall for Wade, honestly. I'd rather keep Randall and see what he does this season. Do you think Josh Hart gets the start? In Summer League, maybe he starts next to Alonzo Ball. I don't know. I think if Clarkson's still on the roster, it's going to be Clarkson or David Nwaba because of defense. But I like Josh Hart. He's a good little prospect. He has experience, all 4 years under his belt. He's coming in ready to contribute right off the bat. That's why we took that pick. But, yeah, I don't think we're going to do the Paul George trade anymore, guys. It's just I thought if it was done, I thought it'd be done by yesterday, by Friday, since they had the moving truck out there. I think Paul George goes to Boston. Unfortunately, I don't want to jinx it, but that's just what it's looking like right now. I think they're going to wait till free agency to see if they can get, Boston's not going to want to commit multiple picks and multiple young players if they're not able to sign Gordon Hayward to try to entice Paul George to stay, right? So I think there's a high chance of that happening. Oh, definitely. I forgot. That's another thing. The deadline to re-sign David Nwaba is today. I'm kind of shocked they haven't already did it. Maybe they haven't seen improvement from him in the summer, or maybe his jump shot's still broken. I'm not sure why, but they haven't re-signed him. I would really like us to re-sign him. Please, Magic, re-sign David Nwaba. He shows a lot of potential, especially now that D'Angelo's gone. We're going to need a two guard. You never know. He could be our two guard of the future. I'm just saying. If we don't get Paul George, just saying, guys. Uh, Josh Hart is a starter. He's a complete player. Yes, in college he is a complete player, but the game always has to translate to the next level. We have to see how he does in summer league, preseason, and so on and so forth. We can't just hand him the reins. It doesn't work that way. This team. One thing Magic said and Luke Walton have said is every player has to earn their role. So nobody's going to be handed any positions. Who do you think will be traded or leave from the Lakers? Depends. Honestly, if we can't get Paul George, I don't think anybody else will get traded. I think we'll only add players from here on out through free agency. But if we're able to get Paul George, I can see Clarkson leaving. Some of these young players we just drafted leaving, and maybe a filler. I don't know. Let's see. Can you name our lineup? Which one? Summer League or roster? I can name them all, man. I'm a diehard, bro. You know. JC is greater than Josh Hart. Come on, guys. we can't say that so far, man. We don't know that yet. He's a very intriguing prospect, but we don't know if he's better than Clarkson. Clarkson has proven himself as a worthy second-round pick, steal. So Clarkson won't start. He plays no defense, but is a good volume scorer, Jamal Crawford type player. Exactly. I like that. I like that comment. That's smart. Like it's 24 Showtime. You smart, bro. Josh Hart winning Rookie of the Year? Come on now. That's a little bit of a reach. Who might we sign during free agency? Now, that's why I wanted to start up the chat with you guys, because I'm very intrigued to hear who you guys like. I'm interested in your guys' opinion. JJ Redick would probably be the biggest get for us if we can get him on a one-year deal, when we can, load that contract for 1 year. And on the back end, we could just cut him off the next year. But I think he's looking for a long-term security, right? We need a shooter in the worst of ways, especially now that we got Lonzo distributing. Is going to help open up the floor. Wayne Ellington's another good one. We can maybe get him on the cheap for longer-term services. There's just so much we could do, Mike Beasley, I'm not too fond of him. I'm not sure. Caldwell Pope, yeah, that would be amazing. Caldwell Pope is probably one of the better defenders in this league, and I love the way he plays. He plays hard. But Caldwell Pope is restricted, and I'm pretty sure Detroit's going to do anything to lock him up. Yeah, JJ Redick is kind of old. He's in his 30s. He's entering his 30s. But I'm just saying on a one-year rental kind of thing, like to try to make the playoffs, that would be good. And then we can just cut him off next year. I would not sign JJ Redick long-term. Definitely not. Westbrook equals ball hog. Well, yeah, think about it. Westbrook is in the same position Kobe was when he had, not so good teammates. So, of course, man, Westbrook is a beast, though. I would take him on the Lakers in a heartbeat. Whatever it took. I don't care that we have Lonzo already. We can play one of them at the two. When you have the ability to add a good player, you can't look at your roster and say, well, no, we already have Julius Randle at that position. No, we already have Lonzo or Ingram at that position. You have to add the good player, and it's a good dilemma to have. The more players at the good position, the more good players you have at the position, that's a good thing, No way. I don't think they're going to get rid of Cantavius Caldwell Pope. There's no way. Have you guys seen how he plays in the playoffs? He's actually a lockdown defender, and he's a two-way player. He can score as well. So I really, really like that kid. There's no way Detroit lets him go. I don't care if they have to pay him $15 million a year. They're going to lock him up. He's restricted. They can match anything. What do I like most about Lonzo's game? I like the way he sees the floor. Like Magic said yesterday, not just the passing, but the ability to put the pass in a scoring position. For example, if Jordan Clarkson is open on a three-point, he's open on a three-point wing, and you have Ingram for the layup or the dunk, he's most likely going to give the ball to Ingram instead of going for the three-pointer, because it's a less probability that Clarkson hits the threes. He's not a great three-point shooter, right? So you go for the higher percentage, and that's how teams win. That's the difference between winning and losing. You take the smarter, higher percentage shot most of the time, and you convert on more of those, right? If not, you're going to live and die by threes all the time. And that's what Lonzo does. He's heady. There's a difference between being a good passer and being a great passer. Being a good passer, you make good passes to teammates when they're open and hit shots. And being a great passer, you see the floor on a different level. You survey the field. You can hit your teammate for a lob dunk. You can pass it to the trailing man for a dunk. You can give it to the guy who's open for a mid-range shot. It doesn't necessarily mean you're always passing to three-point shooters. Being a good passer just means getting the higher percentage shot and the better play, right? So if you have a three-point shooter out there that he's a reliable three-point shooter, let's say we get Korver this offseason, then Lonzo will be aware that he's out there open. And that's what I like about Lonzo. His IQ is on 1,000. I saw him playing UCLA. I saw most of the UCLA games. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't hyped on him from the beginning of UCLA, but like midway through the season, I started tuning in because the hype was there, and he really lived up to the hype. I was like, wow, this kid really is special. I see what they're talking about. And so I grew to love Lonzo Ball. He became one of my favorite prospects at the collegiate level, and so I'm really, really high on him. I know that game always translates. Now, here's what a lot of people don't get about Lonzo. He's a very underrated defender. And what I mean by that is I saw him play, and at times he would use his length to get into passing lanes. He would use his length to block shots, and he's actually pretty athletic. People are going to be very surprised at how good he is on defense and on athletic-wise. They see a light-skinned brother, and they're probably like, oh, he's not that athletic. He's probably like the next Klay Thompson or whatever. No, this kid is athletic, man. He's very, very good, and I can see him getting to the rim as well. The only thing he needs to work on, because he didn't really show a lot of this, and they've been talking about it, is his mid-range. He only shot a total of, I believe, and made like 8 mid-range shots in the whole, in his whole career in college. So he really needs to work on his mid-range. I would like to see him shoot more floaters. I would like to see him, pull up mid-range. And as you can see in the workouts, if you guys get to see the video, he was pulling from mid-range and he looked good. So I don't think that's a problem. Honestly, I don't see a lot of weaknesses in his game other than, little tweaks here and there he needs to work on. But nobody's perfect. Even superstars need to work on their game. But yeah, man, good question. That's what I see about Lonzo Ball. I think he's going to be he truly is going to live up to the expectations. Unlike the previous draft picks, for example, when Julius Randle was drafted at first, I thought he was going to be like Kevin Garnett type. He was going to be a mid-range killer with incredible defense. He already had the motor. He played hard. But instead, what we got was a different product, right? We got this guy who's inconsistent, sometimes overhandles the ball, and he's not really that consistent from mid-range or three-point. So he needs to work on those things and become a similar player. They compared him to Zach Randolph, but Zach Randolph is a mid-range killer and a banger down low. Julius Randle is a banger. He's better in transition, though. So I want to see him expand and get more better in his weak areas, especially free throw shooting, right-hand finishes, and mid-range shooting. Is it Brandon Ingram's team or Lonzo's? Well, according to Magic Johnson, the new face of the team is Lonzo Ball, but I think that's fuel to the fire to Brandon Ingram. I actually think it's a smart strategy. I think it's both their teams. Perfect answer. But the face of the franchise, I think that's what Magic meant to say when he said face. When he said face, I think Lonzo Ball's going to be that guy that when free agents look at the Lakers, they're going to look at Lonzo Ball. They're going to say, I want to go there because Lonzo is going to get me the rock. Paul George is going to say, I want to be there because Lonzo's going to give me the rock. And because Brandon Ingram is a good, sidekick type scorer, like a Pippen to somebody's Jordan, But yeah, Ingram definitely needs to work on a lot, but he improved big time. He improved from the beginning of the season to the end, and that's what gives me such high hopes on Brandon Ingram to actually be a superstar. And I think Lonzo was right when he said that he's going to be a superstar and he looks forward to playing with him, because that's going to be the guy that Lonzo's going to be looking to, for scoring opportunities the most. And he's going to be our ISO guy. Now that D'Angelo's gone, shot clock's winding down, we need somebody to score for us and go ISO. Who do you go for? You go to the 6'10", 6'11", guy with a long wingspan that can shoot over anybody. So it's beautiful. Guys, if you think about it, the best thing about our team is we're actually building a competitive team that's going to be able to compete with anybody. We're going to have Lonzo Ball who's 6'6". He might even grow to be 6'7" with a 6'8", 9 wingspan. Athletic guy who can look over and pass over the top of younger guards, smaller guards. And, he's really lanky, long, and athletic. So I like that there. Then in the future, we're able to add Paul George. We're going to have him most likely as shooting guard. This kid is 6'10", super athletic as well, can shoot over any two guard. Then Brandon Ingram, 6'10", 6'11". Hopefully he continues to, He is a KD type, but he's not there yet. You know, KD was a little more advanced when he came in, especially scoring the ball. But where Ingram is better, I think Ingram is more athletic than KD, honestly. And I think he has more of a defensive potential. Uh, but my thing is this: we're gonna have, you know, I already mentioned the three: Lonzo, you know, hopefully Paul George, Ingram. You know, Julius Randle's a little bit of an odd there because he's kind of a tweener, but that's okay. It won't make a difference because we're gonna have Brook Lopez this season, you know, blocking shots at the rim. He's 7 feet tall, so we're gonna have a long, lengthy lineup that's gonna be able to run, gun, and compete with any team, and that's what makes me the most excited. And we're gonna have, you know, our quarterback, which is Lonzo, getting everybody the ball and easy position to score. D'Angelo had flashes of that. You know, sometimes he would make insane passes like no look. You know, when somebody would cut back door and he would hit him with a no look pass. But my thing is that, yes, my thing is that I think Lonzo is going to do that almost on every single play. He's going to find the best player that's available to score, and if not, I think he's going to take it with himself, right? He's going to take it by himself and try to score. So he's going to be the floor general, and that's what I love. We haven't really had that kind of guard. That's what D'Angelo is supposed to be, you know. Yeah, KD's a little bit bigger, not a lot bigger in size. He's a little bit bigger, but Ingram's still growing, and there's rumors that he already grew. He's a little bit taller, so it's just gonna be a good season for us, guys. We're gonna really enjoy watching this team. It's a good brand of basketball. I think there's gonna be a lot of excited Laker fans out there. You know, a lot of fun to be had, and we're just gonna be having a blast. You know what I mean? But we gotta stick with it, guys. We gotta ride with our team. It's not gonna be an overnight success. I'm sure we still have to grow. We have a lot of growing to do. You know. When does Clay become a free agent? That's a good question. I'm not sure. That's a good question. Exactly. Brandon Ingram's only 19 years old. So he has a lot of improvement, you know. Ball so hard. That's funny. Klay Thompson's a free agent in 2019? Okay. But is he a restricted free agent or is he? I don't think so, right? I think he's an unrestricted. I'm not sure how that would work. Yo, if we could add Klay Thompson, that would be insane because that would be perfect at the 2 guard. But again, we can't have too many 2 guards, so we'll see. Should we have drafted Okafor instead of D'Lo? No. Okafor, I don't even believe would have got this haul for us of Brook Lopez, a first-round pick, and Mozgov. Honestly, Okafor is good, but he would have been better in a different era, maybe back in the 90s or early 2000s. The league has changed and moved from that style of play, and on top of that, like my man right here said, you know, Lakers 24 Showtime, he said he plays no defense, so that's the worst part. You got a 7-footer who plays no defense, can't stretch the floor, struggles in free throw shooting, and it's not that athletic. So it's the worst of all worlds, and that's why it's a good thing we didn't draft, you know, Okafor. If anything, like Hamoud Man said, we should have drafted Porzingis, but we can't blame our idiotic front office because not even the fans knew who Porzingis was, and I'm sure we would have been super upset if we would have drafted him at first, but he would have won us over, so I would have been cool with it. And exactly, Zubac, in my opinion, is way better than Okafor already, and he's going to continue to get better. So Zubac, I always get his name wrong, guys. I want Sean Livingston to put JC at shooting guard. Hey, that'd be great, but don't forget about Josh Hart, man. We already have Josh Hart, so. Yeah, Curry's not going to leave Golden State. I had dropped a video earlier in the year saying that potentially if we lost out on our draft pick, we would have chased Curry hard. But since he won the championship, he's not leaving. That team is going to stay intact for a while. It'd be stupid of any of them to opt out, honestly, and leave. You know? Hart is a backup shooting guard. I actually think he could play combo guard. I think he could play 1 and 2. I would be interested to see him and Jordan Clarkson in the backcourt together. So, you know, and Clarkson, don't forget, he was playing good point guard before D'Lo arrived. So I wouldn't even be shocked if he played backup point guard for us, even though he is a better scoring guard. You know, Lakers are 2 years away from the playoffs. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that, but I'm hopeful for this year. Summer League can't get here fast enough, guys. I'm literally counting down the days. There's like 2 weeks left. It's gonna go not this Friday that's coming up, but the next Friday. So around 2 weeks left, and I'm so hyped, man. For the first time in a while, I've been hyped for a Summer League. I think we can win it, but we'll see. They're just so many options we have with this roster. I'm actually kind of hoping that we keep most of these draft picks. I want to see how they play, Who do I think is the best player on the Lakers? Good question. As of right now, because we haven't seen Lonzo Ball play, I'm going to give that to Brandon Ingram. He's still raw, but I think he's the most versatile player we have because he can play from 1 to 4. He can handle some point guard. He showed he could handle some point guard abilities. And he could defend. He's lanky. He's going to get better at his jump shot, so he's going to be a shooter. And he can just score over anybody, and he can defend. So he's our best all-around, well-rounded player. After him, again, I'm not going to put Lonzo up there till I see him play with the Lakers. So after Ingram, that's a tough one. I really like Larry Nance. I just can't put him up there because he's not too versatile. He can't really score like that. But for defense, hustling, and rebounding, and all the other stuff, I really like him. Lopez is probably our second best player after Ingram right now. But again, he can't rebound, and he's injury prone, so I can't really put him as our most reliable best player. I don't know. There's so much we can do, guys. This roster is going to be really interesting by the start of training camp. I want to see what kind of free agents we're going to add. There's just too much, guys. Yeah, you're right. Lopez is a 1-year rental. So that's why I'm not really that high on him. But, I mean, I'm excited to see what he can do. Maybe the only way I can see him coming back is if we're able to trade, Clarkson's contract away and we give him that contract instead, if he takes a pay cut. But it's just, man, it's an exciting time to be a Laker fan. We're back, guys. I think we're going to have a very similar, and I'll say similar because I don't want to disrespect Showtime, but I think we're going to have a very similar product to what Showtime was. We're going to be running, gunning, playing defense, getting in people's face. That's what Magic is trying to create. And so far, we have the personnel to kind of, minus, well, I guess you could say Brook Lopez, but we have that similar type of personnel. Not as talented, of course, but, poor man's Showtime team. I said it first. But we're trying to bring that style back, and it would be exciting if we could simulate that style, man. What do you think about Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons' Twitter comments? Oh, I was going to get to that. Good question, man. Good question, Jeff. I thought it was funny, but at the same time, I thought it was disrespectful, Lonzo Ball is not disrespecting anybody's parents, When you say dunk on him so hard so his parent can come and get him, you're disrespecting the man and his parent. Basically you're calling Lonzo Ball spoiled and a big baby, and you're saying his parent is overprotective. So we'll see what happens. I'm not mad because I think the league needs a bad guys in the in the NBA. We need the guys that talk smack, the Draymond Greens. The league needs that. But these guys, they don't fit the role because they can't even be on the court for a whole season. So they shouldn't be talking. That's all I got to say about that. Joel Embiid's talking about Ben. You should dunk on him, and this guy's always injured, so he should really keep his mouth quiet. And also, Ben Simmons talking about crazy pills. It's funny because you have one of the crazier teammates in Joel Embiid. This guy's crazy. He's always stalking Rihanna. He's always making jokes, and he doesn't. I feel like that kid doesn't take the game serious. That's the only thing I like about him. I love his talent. I love Joel Embiid's talent. He has the ability to be something similar to Hakeem the Dream. But I just feel like he should take the game more serious. He's always joking around and stuff. Could be the next Dwight Howard for all we know, So it is what it is, That's how he feels. I'm sure it's going to be fuel to Lonzo Ball's fire. So it's all good. I'm not offended. Exactly. Yeah, Lonzo Ball's quiet and humble, and that's very welcome, on the team. People respect those kind of players, and he could very easily assume the leadership role, and I expect him to. Do I think the Lakers will make the playoffs this upcoming season? Ask me that question again in training camp, because I feel like if we get Paul George, yes. If we get Paul George with him and Lopez, the experience they have, they'd make a good little 1-2 combo, plus the young players could come along without as much pressure, because now defense will shift and, try to guard Paul George. So guys like Brandon Ingram will be able to score easier, especially with a guy like Lonzo. So it sets up perfectly. I'd say 6, 7, 8 seed if we get Paul George. If we don't, yet to be determined. I got to see what kind of free agents we get and everything. So, we will see. We have to wait and see. It's too early to tell right now. The landscape of the NBA could change as well. So, it's just an exciting time. It's good to speculate, though. If I had to say right now, based on the team we have right now, if we're going to make the playoffs, my answer to you is I hope so. If this team was able to make the playoffs, that'd be a great accomplishment, and it would help us recruit free agents next summer. So, exactly, that's what I was saying, Javier. I was saying we should sign JJ Redick for a 1-year deal if he takes it. Like I said, I doubt he takes that because he's already in his 30s, so he's gonna be looking to lock up a long-term contract. It's more beneficial to him. He could get injured and ruin his career if he only takes a 1-year deal. So, unless we load up that contract, give him like 18 mil for that 1 year, since we need that cap space next season, I don't think he takes it, but we'll see. Yeah, I can see that. I can see the Lakers winning 35 games without Paul George, which is a good improvement. As long as we keep rising, I don't want to see us fall. We keep rising, I'll take it. I definitely want to see our young players play good. I'm hoping Lonzo Ball takes Rookie of the Year. I think he has a high shot at taking that, Rookie of the Year. I mean, Magic just handed him the keys to the team, so we'll see what happens. Dan, I think the most annoying part of this whole D'Lo trade is people hating on Lonzo, acting like he's the reason D'Lo got traded. That's true. It is annoying, guys. All you guys that are still holding on to D'Angelo, let him go. He's gone. Are you guys Laker fans or are you guys Laker fanboys? There's a difference. A Laker fan will ride with his team no matter what, no matter who's on the roster. And Laker fanboys will go along with whatever team their favorite player got traded to, But I will say this. That's the reason I don't like LeBron. He has probably the most fanboys in the league. I mean, if you're a Cavs fan, how can you ever like LeBron after he left you the first time and he's threatening to leave you again? And he's broken your guys' heart more times than I can count. So that's just how I feel about LeBron. But it is what it is. I respect the talent. Julius untouchable. I would like to see him one season more. I'm not sure about untouchable because he's going to want to get paid next summer, and I'm not sure we do that. So if you can get rid of him now before he gets paid and get some value in return instead of just letting him walk, I do that. But I do want to see what he does, at least up until the trade deadline. I want to see what he's capable of with his newfound body. But again, you can be as fit as you want, but if you didn't work on that right hand, that mid-range jump shot, and the consistency on defense, and nothing changes other than a little bit of speed here and there. Do I see similarities in Josh Hart game with Derek Fisher? I don't. Yeah, they're both shot takers and shot makers, but I think Josh Hart brings us a little bit more of playmaking ability. I think he could play the point guard as well as a shooting guard, like a combo guard type. If I had to compare Josh Hart to somebody, let me see. I got to think this one through. Josh Hart would be like, if he reaches his potential, he could potentially become, let's see, who's Josh Hart? Josh Hart, if he reaches his potential, he would be, that's a tough one, man. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you on that one. Malcolm Brogdon. I guess you could say that. I think Brogdon's a little bit more athletic. But yes, I guess you could say something along those lines. I'm having trouble thinking of Josh Hart along the lines of similitude with another player. Let's see. Josh Hart. Let me ask you guys. Who do you guys think Josh Hart reminds you of? I don't think it's Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher he was a clutch player and a good defender. Josh Hart has a long ways to go, but I think he's a different kind of player. Shannon Brown with a better shot. Shannon Brown was a freak athlete. I wouldn't give that to Josh Hart. Josh Hart is a good athlete, but he's not a freak. Man, I remember when we first got Shannon Brown and he did that dunk. He not the dunk, when he got that block off the top of the backboard. Raja Bell is a good comparison, but Raja Bell didn't have the handles that Josh Hart has, so I wouldn't say that neither. Josh Hart, man, that's a good question, man. I can't really compare him to nobody off the top of my head, honestly. But the Pacers don't want Julius or Clarkson. Not impressed around the league. Yeah, that's exactly what I got into in the start of my video. It's interesting because I think we overvalue these players. Trevor Ariza. No, 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 no. Trevor Ariza was a lanky wing, and at first, when Trevor Ariza came to the league, all he could do was slash. He wasn't a good shooter, couldn't handle the ball. He improved as the years went on. Um, but yeah, not Trevor Ariza. Richard Jefferson. No, I think Richard Jefferson was way more athletic. Josh Richardson. Yes, Josh Richardson is a very good example of what Josh Hart can be like if he reaches his potential. You know what I mean? Josh Hart like LeBron Bryant. Oh my God. Yeah, not Richard Jefferson, but I think you know Josh Richardson's perfect. Yeah, Spartan. That's a good one right there. Corey Joseph's another good one, but I think Josh Hart has a little bit of a better scoring ability. Monte Ellis, I could see it. Monte was a beast when he was going to State, man. That kid could score on anybody. I used to love Monte Ellis, one of my favorite players when he first came in the league. Hmm. Why did the Lakers select Kyle Kuzma? I was a little confused with that pick as well. I wasn't very sold on Kuzma, but the more I watch tape on him, and I hope he impresses in summer league, I think they see him as that underdog. I think very similar to Larry Nance Jr. Not in athleticism wise, but just a player who plays hard and will make his teammates around him better. Um, good shooter, decent slasher, not too athletic, but he ain't no slouch neither. So I think Kuzma is very versatile. There you go. Perfect word for a sham god. Right on time. Yeah, I think Kuzma's a versatile player. He reminds me a little bit of Boris Diaw. I think that's who he might become. I'd be happy with that, but we'll see. PG-13 just traded to Boston. You better not be trolling, because if I check, I don't know. Let me find out. Let me find out. Nope. Nope. PG-13 is not traded to Boston, bro. Come on now. Exactly. I think the Kyle Kuzma thing is more of insurance, just in case we had to trade Randall in a package to get Paul George. That's a good comment right there, Lakers fan 24. We could have got him around the second round. I don't know. It's debatable. PJ Dozier, I like his size, man. For a guard, I like his size. We'll have to see. I don't know a lot about him. We will have to see around summer league. I really want to see what he could do. I'm not sure his contract's even guaranteed. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Who takes the most shots on our team this year? I'm hoping it's Brandon Ingram. But if Paul George comes, it's going to be Paul George for sure. I'm hoping it's Brandon Ingram, though. I don't want to see Brook Lopez take too many shots from Brandon. It's a very crucial year for Brandon's development. He developed a killer mentality at the end of the season. At first, when he came in, he was too tentative. He wasn't shooting more than 8 to 9 shots a game. He ended the season shooting around 15. So I want to see him take over 20 shots a game. I do. I think he can score I think he could be a 20-plus point per game scorer if he does that. So I really like him a lot. Predict Lonzo Ball's rookie stat line for his rookie season. Too early to do that, but if I had to take a shot in the dark right now with the current roster, I say he averages 11.5 points per game with 7 assists and 4 rebounds. And that would be really good. That'd be in the running for Rookie of the Year. Almost a double-double. I'll take it. If he averages more than 7 assists, I'd be super hyped. I would definitely give him the title of the next Jason Kidd if he averages more than 7 assists. But regularly, some of the best passing guards, their rookie season, since they're just getting acclimated, and the point guard position is the hardest one to learn running a new offense, I think he'll average around 6 to 7 assists. And I'll be very happy with that, by the way. I wouldn't be mad. Could we have a top pick next year, or do we have to give it to Sixers? No, our pick goes to Boston or Philly. Philly traded that pick to Boston with a conditional protection, but yeah, we don't have our pick next season so far. But the way Magic's been wheeling and dealing, if we need a pick next year, I'm sure he can trade into one. There's just so much Magic has done that shows me he's capable. You know, he's been the complete opposite from Mitch. Magic has not given us any BS to the fans. You know, he has been straight up, told us his intentions from the beginning. Same thing with Rob. They've told us they're going for 2 All-Stars next summer. You know, they're not playing us. They're not playing with our minds like Mitch and Jim. They would make false promises they couldn't keep. These guys are actually telling us their intentions straight up. Hey, baby. A little bit. All right, a couple more questions, guys. Give me 5 more questions. I'm about to go grab some lunch with my girl. I take 5 more questions, any order. But yeah, guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys today, man. Anytime you guys feel like talking, just hit me up. If I'm free, I'll definitely be live streaming. If there's any news, you guys already know I'm dropping a video. Magic said Palenka was on the mastermind behind the D-Lo trade. We always eating. We gotta eat, man. Haven't had breakfast, bro. Took care of chores this morning. I feel you on that. Where's Paul George going? Honestly, based on the rumors and based on what I've been hearing, that the league is not that high on Clarkson or Randall. I hope not, and I don't want to jinx it, but I think he's going to Boston, man. Honestly, I think Boston's gonna sign Gordon. You know, I think Boston's gonna sign Gordon, and I think he's gonna trade for Paul George. So we'll see what happens. I know, Jesus, you joking. It's cool, bro. I'm not mad. I'm not upset. You can make a fat joke on me. I'm not soft, man. It's all good. I'm going to IHOP. Nah, not IHOP, man. I'm not in the mood for no IHOP. What do you guys like to eat in the morning? I don't like to eat heavy food in the morning, guys, honestly. I'll probably go get a salad or I don't know, Wobble Grill or something. Subway. Yeah. Lonzo Ball shoes are ugly, man. The ZO2s are all right. The black ones, they look all right. They look kind of cool. I wouldn't pay no 500 for them straight up, but I do think these new shoes he whipped out, they look like the old N1 Shaq Giant shoes. You know, I didn't used to like those neither. So live stream after lunch if I have time, man. I'll definitely consider it, my friend. Do you think we're gonna be in the playoffs this year? I answered that a couple of times back, but I'll give it to you. Maybe you weren't here. Depends. All right, depends how the West shapes out. After free agency, ask me again. That's my answer. Do you think Boston made a mistake passing on Josh Jackson? I don't know. I don't know, because Josh Jackson did not want to be there. He skipped out on him. You know what I mean? He skipped out on him, and we'll see. But I mean, I think Jason Tatum. I think Tatum is a very good prospect. Reminds me a lot of Paul Pierce, so I can see why they drafted him. Do you think Randall is the for our future? That's a tough one. Depends on this season. I think he's going to have to earn his future with the Lakers this season. He has to ball out. And I mean ball out. I'm talking about if he wants to earn a contract extension, what else he's going to have to drop at least 14 points plus with 10 rebounds at least. You know? Are you mad we didn't take OG? I'm not even going to try to say his last name, bro. I'm not mad. I'm not mad we didn't take OG. I actually like the way our draft, came out. The more I've been studying these prospects, I already knew Josh Hart. I knew Kyle Kuzma. The other guy I didn't know. Bryant, I didn't know that much. But I'm hyped for our young prospects. Have you guys seen the video of Clay missing dunks? No, not really, man. I'll check that out when I get a chance. Do the Lakers re-sign David Nwaba? I pray to God we do, because he's going to be a steal for anybody who swoops him up, and I would hate to see him. I would hate to see him on another roster. I think he's going to be our Tony Allen. Perfect comment. Man, me and Lakers Fan 24 Showtime, we think alike, man. Great minds, baby. Let's go. You should always want to play for the premier franchise. For a premier franchise. Yep. All right, guys. One more question on the Mounties, man. One more. Let's see who types it faster. Who's the quickest one? What if the Golden State? Oh man, I did not want to. I'm gonna have to answer one more question after this. I don't want to answer this question to be my last question. I wanted to be Laker related. All right. What if Golden State Warriors get David Nwaba? Really, you gonna torture me like that, bro? Come on now. David Nwaba is so good. If Golden State gets him, they're for sure winning the championship again because he's going to be able to lock down multiple positions in the finals. So please, no. He's not under contract as of now, bro. We have to opt into this year. We actually should give him an extension. That could be the holdup. We're probably working on an extension because he's a very good young player. All right, one more question. Just one more. Straight up. Just to make it close to an hour. Come on, guys. Give me one more question. Just one more. Make it in. Give me a good question. All right. Are you hyped about the Lakers season? Perfect. Yes. I am extremely hyped about the Lakers season, guys. Lonzo Ball running the point guard with a filler shooting guard who we don't know yet, but hopefully it's a good one. I want to see the way Ingram's going to be improved. I'm sure he's going to be averaging at least 12 points a game this season, but I'm hoping he goes up to like 15, 16, 17. I'd be hyped. I want to see how Julius Randle has improved. So many questions. I want to see how Brook Lopez is going to fit in with the roster. I want to see how, Ivica Zubats, how he's going to be locking down the block, man. I want to see if we bring back Thomas Robinson, who I loved last season. I want to see if we bring back Tyler Ennis, who I liked last season. I want to see how Josh Hart is going to do and playing a backup. I want to see. I have so many questions, guys. It's just going to be such a good season for us. I know we're going to improve. I know we already improved with the moves we've made. And hopefully we sign a pretty good free agent, at least for 1 year. But I'm hyped, guys. I'm really, really excited. I can't wait. I almost shed a tear when we drafted Lonzo because I was so happy, man. And I really, really think he is a superstar in the future. And he's going to make everybody better. Very much like Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, and similar to what Magic Johnson used to do. So very hyped, guys. Much love. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to the live stream. If I have any time later on, I'll do it again later. If not, most likely tomorrow or whenever news drops, I'll drop a video. But it's been real. If you guys already haven't, go ahead and drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out, YouTube. Appreciate you guys, man.